Hey, what's up everybody? My name is King Z. Welcome back to the Empire. If this is your first time here, welcome in. I hope you enjoy your stay. I hope you enjoyed the episode. And if you do, make sure to check out the rest of the series and consider subscribing. So to get things started, I want to talk about what I've done in between last episode and this episode. Just adding minor details here and there. As you can see, I've added these little flower pots here to make this little railing here that I added in front of the window look a little bit better. I might change these flowers out to be different colors and something like that, but I'm not totally sure. I kind of like how it looks. I've also added a different railing up top there for the balconies on both of these 3-story tall buildings here, one for the inn and one for this little shop that we have over here on the other side. So not too much on the outside. And then if you come in here inside the actual bar area, I changed out a lot of the chairs. I got a different little layout in here, which I think works a little bit better. Trying to do a little bit of decorating, changing out some of the spruce trapdoors for dark oak trapdoors here and there, trying to add a little bit of difference and variance to some of these colors in here. Still a lot of decorating that I want to do and a lot of things that I want to add, but not really a whole lot that I can think of at the moment. Now, another thing I've been working on off camera is I've been trying to do some interior for this castle. So if you step through the doors here, you can see that I've added a throne room, which I honestly think is looking okay for one, but it's very massive. What I think I actually might want to do is bring this throne all the way up to here. So maybe just one extra spot, maybe even right here. So we just have one pillar basically, and you'll see the throne. That way it'll give us a lot more space for interior stuff to do inside the castle. Because if you pop out this door here, there's really not a whole lot of space to work with. And I was thinking about trying to place a small courtyard back here with like some trees, some shrubbery, just to add a little bit of greenery back here. But if I have the throne room pushed all the way back there and I put a courtyard here, there's really not much room for interior stuff. So that's kind of why I want to push this throne room back a little bit. But we'll see. We'll see what I think. I might do that next episode and kind of work on some of this other stuff. Because what I want to do this episode is work on some of these towers that I haven't finished yet in the castle. Like this one here. I want to do something along the lines of the barracks tower that we have. So maybe something similar to that as far as the roof goes. I don't want it to be as tall as this. Maybe slightly shorter. Maybe we just leave it kind of how it is right here and just bring it up a little ways with a little small roof section. And then these towers, I'm not sure if I want to get these up today or if I want to see how this build here turns out, because I do want some height back here with some rooms, some windows and stuff like that. I also want to terraform this area here to make it more like a cliff face, give us a little bit more fortification, so it'll be a lot of terraforming that I have to do. So that's kind of what we're looking at for there. And then we'll move away from those towers and then we'll get started on something that I've been meaning to do for quite a while. I want to get started on the pathway from the castle all the way over to King's Valley. And I've got a little bit of a pathway set up with like gravel and path blocks and stuff like that, but nothing really solidified as far as the path goes. And then another thing I want to work on is, you can see we're coming up to this hilltop over here. I want to put a tower here with like a little building on the side, give us a little bit of a landmark, something to look at along the way, and also it provides some defenses to the kingdom. And then we'll go ahead and finish up the pathway along there. I thought it'd be a nice little break in between the time lapse. So we'll do half the roadway all the way to the tower. We'll get started on the tower and then I'll finish out the roadway later on, because I don't want to do the whole roadway in like one go. That'd be like really mind-numbingly boring. Plus I'm like 100% positive I'll probably run out of materials along the path. So having a midway point, kind of breaking up the build a little bit, will keep it interesting for me, keep it interesting for you guys as well. It is going to be a time-lapse heavy episode, so hopefully you guys enjoy it. I'll probably do some commentary over the time lapses to explain what I'm doing a little bit better. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into today's episode. All right, so before we get into the first time lapse, I've done a little bit of work. You can see right here, I've been working on the back side of this Great Hall. All I did was copy what I have over here, block for block, just to make it look the same on both sides. The only thing I did have to change was the actual entrance. So instead of this flat little plane here with a balcony, I just added the little stairs over here. It might not stay this way, but I do kind of like how it came out. So hopefully this little courtyard will look pretty nice when we're all done, but we'll see how it comes out. Another thing I've been working on, I pushed the throne room back a little bit. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but I think it's going to give us the best space back here for some rooms, some hallways and stuff like that. So I'm probably going to keep it like this, but I might try to push it back, add one more pillar section here to give us a little bit better look. Because when you're coming here now, it's not as grand, but I guess it doesn't really need to be. It's a smaller castle. It doesn't need like a huge throne room or anything like that, but we do have a small little throne room here, a few pillars. Still working on the texturing and stuff like that, but I just wanted to get like a basic idea of how this thing looks in here. So one other thing I did off camera was actually go to the nether. I was looking for wither skeleton skulls, which I found one. I also got a bunch of loot from one of the strongholds I hadn't been through yet, so that's kind of nice. But I did find the wither skeleton skull, and the reason I was looking for that is because I want to make one of these guys. I want to make a skull charge banner pattern because I want to make some banners for this area. And I'll probably show you before the end of this episode what banner we pick. I did need to go to the nether to get that stuff, so just giving you guys a little heads up. We got ourselves another wither skeleton skull, which is nice, and also the skull charge, which is awesome. We can make some pretty cool banners with that regardless of what we decide to do. We can make some cool banners for like pirates and stuff like that. So I'll probably be making a few more banner charges here and there just to kind of experiment with banners for this area, for other areas, but I do want to have a banner specific to each kingdom and also probably each area. So I'm going to work on that stuff off camera, see what I can come up with, and while I'm doing that, I'll leave you guys with this time lapse of this cool little tower build. I really like how this tower came out. I had originally built another tower here and had to tear it all down. So I did one time lapse before this and it didn't come out quite how I wanted it. It was a little bit too large, so I went back into my creative world and kind of reworked it, made a smaller tower, and I love it. Came out great. Adds a little bit of contrast with the wood around here, so it's not just completely stone now. The other one I built actually was a little bit bigger than this tower here, so it really did not work. So I'm super happy with how this tower came out. We can go check it out a little bit closer. This is what it looks like from up close, and then we go inside. Kind of a shifty little way to get in here right now. Eventually I'll get the layout of the interior done so we can kind of have a little bit better way to get in here. But this is the top of the tower. Just trying to make it feel nice and cozy. I'll probably rework the ceiling here. Add a rope with a lamp up here just to give ourselves a little bit of light during the night. And you can see we got a nice view of this side of the castle. And also a decent view from over here. So this is a nice guard tower, nice watchtower for inside the castle walls. I think that's pretty good practice for our next tower that we're going to be doing over here today. But before we get started on that, we need to get started on our pathway here. Now I know this pathway is going to take a ton of materials to get done. It's quite a long path, so I've set up a bunch of these double chests along the way that just hold a lot of my materials for building my pathway. So this one's the most full as it's the closest to the castle, and I'm kind of building from the castle back over to Kings Valley. But I have bricks, dark oak planks, oak logs, spruce planks, podzol, and coarse dirt. I'll need to get slabs and stairs and stuff like that later on, and then I'll also add like some rock formations around here to kind of curve the path in certain directions. I'll also come back through and add some custom trees to the pathway. I also want to add some fencing and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and gather as much materials as I possibly can, and we'll jump into this time lapse. So I don't think we're going to be doing the other half of the pathway in today's episode. I'm probably going to do that off camera. This took 3 hours to get this done. This is insane. It is a pretty long path though. If you guys ever joined the Twitch stream, if I'm ever streaming, we can check it out and I can show you just how long it actually is. And I try to make it curve to the terrain. If the terrain wasn't working correctly, I put up some spots here where I'm actually going to build a little hill up. So it's not just a straight path, because I feel like moving through the forest and different angles and curves and turns and stuff like that will give us a good view, especially when we come over around here. We're going to be building this tower. You can kind of catch glimpses of it through the tree lines. Yeah, this is going to be our spot for the tower. I got to do a little bit of terraforming to get this hillside looking the way I want to. There's some pretty cool stuff here though. I want to maybe use this in a kind of a way, maybe have a little campfire spot up here, but there's also like some cool entrances like down here. There's a spot that leads over here. There's also a spot that leads through here. So I don't know if I'm going to be utilizing these or if I'm just going to be filling them up or not, but we'll kind of see how it goes. So I'm going to get the terrain done and then we're going to jump right into the build. So here's another time lapse for you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoy. There you have it, everybody. The tower's complete. I think it looks pretty great. I did create this one in my creative world first and then brought it in here. It wasn't fully finished in the creative world, but I think it looks pretty cool. We got this nice little balcony area to stand on, look out upon. It looks pretty cool. And then there's a way to get all the way to the very top where we can see a pretty far distance. I can see probably almost all the way to where there's eventually going to be a bridge over there by King's Valley. I can see pretty far along the way over to the castle. And then I noticed this big area over here. Should probably do something with this later on. Not sure yet what I want to do, but if you guys have any ideas, make sure to let me know. I'd love to hear you guys' ideas. Maybe get the ball rolling. Still got to detail the inside, do the interior a little bit, and then work on the terrain a little bit more. I just kind of wanted to get it set in here. I'm not sure if I want to put like a small little house attached to it, or if I just want to leave it as like this little open campsite area that I was talking about before, closing up some of this stuff and then leading a path, probably coming down this way and connecting into the main road area over there. But yeah, that's the tower. Hopefully you guys like it. Hopefully that time lapse was pretty cool. I do actually have one more build plan for today. It's actually one of the other towers over at the castle. So let's head on over there and I'll show you which tower we're going to be doing. All right, we're back over here at the castle, and this is the tower I want to tackle. It's pretty close to the main hall, and I think I got a cool little design for this. It's not going to be too tall. It might be like, actually it might be decently tall, but I want to kind of connect it maybe possibly too. To start out with though, I'm just going to build the tower how I designed it, and then I'll come back through and then I'll decide how I want to connect it. I just want to add a little bit of variance to this area here. It seems pretty flat. When I was originally trying to design this other tower over here, this one, I actually came up with the design for that one. So it didn't really fit here, but I think it'll fit over there nice. And especially if we connect it to the Great Hall area, I think it'll look pretty awesome. So I'm gonna get some materials and we're gonna jump into yet another time lapse. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one as well. Welcome back. Short little time lapse, quick little build. I think it came up pretty well. I still need to actually connect it, and I want to connect it right around here. There's a floor that I put in. I don't know if you guys saw that, but there's a floor right at this level, and I want to connect it into the Great Hall right around there. So there's actually no entrance into it right now, but we'll get that figured out later on. I'll probably do that off camera, but I think it came out pretty good. It adds a little bit of character to this side, gives us another tower similar to the one over at the barracks, but a little bit bigger. Looks pretty cool. So that's 3 towers done in today's episode. These 2, we don't really have to worry about the terrain or anything like that. So I'm just gonna kind of leave them there, do a little bit of off-camera work. But I want to head back over here to the watchtower that we put up over here. We'll definitely have to give a name to this thing, so it's not just the watchtower, it'll be an actual tower name. That way when I talk about going over there for something, you guys will know exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm probably gonna spend the rest of this episode just doing a little bit of terraforming around the area, making things look nice, getting the pathway moved all the way past here, and then getting a pathway that leads up to the tower. I might do a small time lapse of me doing the little camping site I was talking about, or if I'm gonna add like a little house in here, I might add something. But I think I could probably just fit like a couple beds in here and some storage in here as well, because I mean there is this level, this is a pretty big level as well, and then it goes up to this one where they can see out, and then we have another one all the way up here where it's actual the watching portion of the watchtower. So a lot of room to do stuff in here. We might not need to add anything, but I think a small little campsite maybe to get out of the tower and kind of hang out, look over the forest kind of deal would be kind of cool. So yeah, I'm gonna get some work done and I'll bring you guys back in to show you what I've done. Welcome back, everybody. I've been doing a lot of work around here, working on the pathway, working on the details around this area. I've added a few trees, a few small bushes, vines and stuff like that. I've got the slope in the pathway looking pretty nice. Got all the stairs and slabs put in here so it looks good. Adding detail. We still need to do hidden lighting around here. I gotta get some wool going so I can start creating some hidden lighting under some wool or something. But a lot of work's been going on around here. I've had a few small campfires around here, bringing the path all the way up here. Added a few of my custom trees just to add a little bit more life to the area. I also curved the pathway around this little rock formation so we couldn't cut directly into it, had to curve up around it. Added some vines to the tower, added some bushes, so a little bit of flowers. I dotted the area with grass with some bone meal from our wonderful skeleton farm over there. Starting to add a path down here. I haven't finished it quite yet. I don't know what I want to put down here, maybe like a little small seating area or something. And then I added the actual little campfire area over here that I was talking about. It looks pretty cool. I like how it came out. I actually tore this all down and then rebuilt it up. I just basically made like a half circle and then dug into it to make this shape here. So if you guys were wondering how that was made, I didn't actually record it in a time lapse, so we'll probably do something like this later on in the series. I still want to go through here and add some more detail, maybe a small horse stable down here for the guards to ride to and from the castle and other areas in the kingdom. I was also thinking about taking a pathway in different directions out here. We got a lot of space to work with over here. There's a lot of small details I still want to add in here. I'm not sure exactly what. I want to maybe detail some more rock formations around here to give this other hillside a better shape. And then obviously I still have to finish the pathway going over to King's Valley. But all in all, I think it looks pretty good. This is a pretty productive episode. Got a lot of stuff done. And for anybody that's made it to the end of the episode, I want to let you guys know that I joined an SMP server, the Afterlife SMP. Guys invited me to their server. I accepted, so expect a video out pretty soon after this one goes out. Bunch of cool guys on there. If you want to check them out, I'll make sure to have a link in the description of that video. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun on that server. A lot of really great, talented builders, and it gives me a chance to experiment with some different builds outside of our world here. And don't worry, this world is never going to go away. This is going to be our forever world. I'll always come back to this series. And what I want to do is try to get out 2 episodes a week, if possible. If not, I'm going to prioritize doing 1 episode of each series every other week. That way I still have some dedication to each series. And then every once in a while, I'll squeeze in a how do you build that tutorial video as well. But I think that's all the time I have for this episode, everybody. I hope you really enjoyed it. Remember, if you're brand new or you haven't already subscribed, please consider subscribing. It really helps out the channel. Leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know what you think of the episode. Let me know what you think of the series. And I'll see you all next time here on KingZee's Empire.